Today I'm going to show you how you can pull the smallest non-zero value from a range. So here I've got the numbers 0 through 10 listed, and what I can do is, if I were using a min function to just pull the smallest number and select this range, I'm going to get a value back of 0 because there's a 0 in my range. Now if I want to skip over the zeros, one option I have is using an array formula. So within this min function, what I can do is put an if function in here and say, okay, if within this range this is not equal to 0, then return A1 to A11, the exact same range. And then what I can do is close this out, and it returns a value of 1. So it tells me that 1 is the minimum value when I'm skipping over those zeros. And I can put a 0 here, and now it's going to update to 2 and to a 3 and so on. Now if this isn't calculating correctly for you and you're running an older version of Excel, one thing you're probably going to need to do is click into this formula and hit Control-Shift-Enter to turn it into an array function, and you get these squirrely brackets around it. On newer versions of Excel, this isn't necessary. It automatically is going to calculate correctly, but if you get into an error or if it's still not giving you the right value, then you may need to turn it into an array by using Control-Shift-Enter. Okay, so this is using the min function. I'm going to show you another way using the large function. Now this might seem a little weird because the large function is used to get the largest values. For example, if I use the large function and say I wanted the largest value in this range, I would set 1 as my second argument, the k value. I want the largest value, returns a value of 10, right? If I want the second largest value, then what I'm going to do is return a value. Then I'm going to put a value of 2, and it returns 9. Okay, so what I can do here is use the countif function as my second argument here instead of putting in a number. And the reason being is, consider a situation where you've got a race and you finish 10th out of 10th. That's the same as saying you're the 10th fastest runner, right? Also the slowest, right? So if you're looking at the 10th largest versus the first smallest, it's the same thing. So the key is finding out what that k value needs to be. And so what I can do here is use the countif function to say, okay, I'm going to look at this range and I'm going to look at the values that are, I'm going to put this in quotations, greater than 0. And so what this is going to do is count the numbers that are greater than 0. So there's going to be 10 of them. So it's going to get the 10th largest number, which is going to be a 1. Because if it's the 11th largest, it's going to be a 0. So I'm only counting the values over 0. Okay, so if I close this out now, you'll see I still get the same value of 1. Right? So to prove this out, I'll go to the formula, evaluate formula, and here you can see the countif is 10, so it's getting the 10th largest value in this range. So if I ignore the 0, that's 10 values right there. So again, I'll put in some zeros here, and you'll see both formulas update in the same fashion. So if you don't want to use an array formula, you can use the large function and a countif function within that. If you're okay with using the array formula, then you can just use the min function and put not equal to 0. So that's a quick way of how you can pull the smallest non-zero value from Excel.